In a move that has sent shockwaves through global markets and reignited fears of a transatlantic trade war, U.S. President Donald Trump has announced plans to impose a brutal 25% reciprocal tariff on imports from the European Union. Speaking with characteristic defiance during his first cabinet meeting since returning to office, Trump declared that the decision had already been made, warning reporters that the formal announcement would come very soon. But it wasn't just the tariff itself that raised eyebrows. It was Trump's incendiary rhetoric, as he accused the European Union of being created to screw the United States. Here's what he said about the reciprocal tariff in the cabinet meeting.
European Union is a different case than Canada, different kind of case. They've really taken advantage of us in a different way. They don't accept our cars. They don't accept essentially our farm products. They use all sorts of reasons why not. And we accept everything of them. And we have about a $300 billion deficit with the European Union. Now, I love the countries of Europe. I guess I'm from there at some point a long time ago, right? But indirectly, pretty directly too, I guess. But I love the countries of Europe. I love all countries, frankly, all different. But the European Union's it was formed in order to screw the United States. I mean, look, let's be honest. The European Union was formed in order to screw the United States. That's the purpose of it. And they've done a good job of it, but now I'm president.
To understand the full gravity of this development, one must rewind the clock to the post-war years when the seeds of the European Union were first planted. Born from the ashes of World War II, the European Union's founding principle was to prevent future conflict by knitting the economies of Europe so tightly together that war would become unthinkable. Over time, the Union evolved into a powerful economic bloc, boasting the world's largest single market, one capable of standing toe-to-toe with the US and China. However, none of that matters to Trump. In his eyes, the European Union's true purpose was always to exploit America's open market, flood it with European goods, and shut out US exports through a maze of tariffs and regulations. In light of this, Trump is on something on a warpath of revenge, making sure that the European Union will pay more tariffs now that he is the president of America once more. The timing of Trump's declaration could hardly be more explosive. Trade tensions between Washington and Brussels had already been simmering under the surface, thanks to Trump's relentless America First agenda, which sees international trade deals as zero-sum games where only one side can win. In Trump's worldview, America has been losing for decades, and the European Union is one of the biggest culprits. His latest salvo, threatening to slap sky-high tariffs not only on European cars, but also on all other things, has pushed those tensions to boiling point. In Brussels, Trump's comments triggered immediate outrage. The European Commission wasted no time firing back, with a spokesperson vowing that the European Union would react firmly and immediately to any unjustified trade barriers. Behind closed doors, European leaders were said to be stunned by the sheer aggression of Trump's language. Gerard Araud, the former French ambassador to the US, didn't mince words when he said Trump hates the European Union and doesn't even understand what it is. Carl Bildt, Sweden's former prime minister, added that Trump's view of the European Union's origins was seriously distorted, reminding the world that the European Union was created to prevent war, not to wage economic warfare against America. But Trump's European tariff threat isn't happening in a vacuum. It's the latest shot fired in a much broader campaign to reshape America's role in the world. Ever since his first presidency, Trump has hammered the idea that America's allies, from NATO members to trade partners, had taken advantage of US generosity. In his mind, the European Union embodies that betrayal. And for Trump, tariffs aren't just about money, they're about dominance. By raising tariffs, he believes he can force Europe to bend to his will, open its markets to American goods, and ultimately reshape the entire US-European Union economic relationship in his image. Yet the reality of tariffs is rarely so simple. On paper, they are a tax paid by the companies importing goods into the US. But in practice, those costs almost always filter down to ordinary Americans through higher prices. A 25% tariff on European cars, for example, could make popular models from BMW, Volkswagen, and Mercedes-Benz dramatically more expensive overnight. American consumers, already grappling with inflation, could face sticker shock on everything from luxury vehicles to household appliances. And that's before Europe retaliates, a move that European Union officials have already promised. The European Union has a long history of responding to U.S. tariffs with forceful countermeasures. When Trump imposed tariffs on European steel and aluminum in 2018, Brussels retaliated with duties on American whiskey, motorcycles, and even iconic products like Levi's jeans. This time with higher stakes, Europe's response could target politically sensitive sectors, perhaps agricultural exports from Trump-friendly rural states or tech products from Silicon Valley, further inflaming tensions. Could this escalate into a full-blown trade war? Would American farmers, manufacturers, and tech giants end up as collateral damage in Trump's crusade? And would the global economy, already teetering from geopolitical instability, be able to withstand such a shock? There's also the question of Trump's own unpredictability. Throughout his political career, he has repeatedly floated dramatic trade measures only to pull back at the last minute, leaving businesses, investors, and even his own advisors scrambling to decipher his true intentions. Will this 25% tariff actually take effect, or is it another bluff designed to force Europe to the negotiating table? If Europe refuses to budge, how far is Trump willing to go? Could NATO itself become collateral damage, as Trump questions the very value of defending allies who, in his view, exploit America economically? For Europe, the stakes are enormous. Losing preferential access to the U.S. market could cost European businesses billions, triggering job losses and economic instability across the continent. But for some in Europe, Trump's threats could also be a wake-up call, a chance to accelerate efforts to diversify trade away from the U.S. and strengthen ties with rising powers like China, India, and African nations. Could Trump's tariffs ultimately backfire, leaving the U.S. more isolated than ever? In the end, Trump's 25% tariff isn't just about trade. It's about power, identity, and the future of the global economic order. Is this the beginning of a new Cold War, not fought with missiles, but with tariffs and trade barriers? Or is it simply the latest chapter in Trump's long-running performance, where chaos is the goal and uncertainty is the weapon? One thing is certain, the world will be watching, and the next move could change everything. Your perspective matters. What do you make of Trump's proposed 25% reciprocal tax aimed at the European Union? Share your thoughts and insights in the comments section below. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our current affairs channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our informative future videos. Stay informed, stay engaged, and thank you for watching.